Hello everyone, welcome back to Book Club Preview. I'm Michael, and today we're looking at The Maze Runner, chapter 30. This chapter is pretty short, and it starts with Thomas getting into the slammer. Newt takes him over into the little jail, and he says, "Hey, have fun, you're going to be here all day. I hope you understand why order is so important." And Thomas is just there. He doesn't have anything to do. For the first hour, he tries to think. For the second hour, he's starting to go crazy. And then the third hour, finally Chuck comes. Chuck comes and he gives Thomas his food. And then Chuck starts to get really, really deep. And this is pretty cool because Chuck starts to really share some of his feelings. He's like, "Man, Thomas, I think I'm messed up in my head." Thomas is like, "Well, what's up? What's going on?" And he's like, "Man, when I first came here, I cried almost every night. And I couldn't do anything, and I was just so depressed, and it was just until almost that you had come when I had stopped." And then Thomas shares, he's like, "Hey man, like I cried too. Like that night in the maze, I cried." And Chuck was like, "Really? You cried too?" And then Thomas just shared like, "Yeah man, it's okay. Don't be afraid to cry. Don't be ashamed of crying." And then Chuck felt a little bit better. And then there's some silence, and then Chuck asks, "Hey, Thomas, do you think I have parents?" And Thomas was like, "Psh, come on, man, of course. Do you need me to explain the birds and the bees?" The birds and the bees is an expression meaning how babies are made. And Chuck is like, "No, I mean, do you think I still have a mom and a dad? That they cry for me?" And Thomas is just like, boom, like, "Oh, man. I never thought about like parents, parents like waiting for me." And then he thought about Chuck, and he started to get really angry, and he's like, "Man, Chuck deserves to be at school, to be with a mom, to be getting help with his homework from his dad." And he felt so angry that he could have like just punched the wall or something, but he just thought of that hurt that Chuck must have. And then Thomas makes his promise. He says, "Chuck, I promise I'm going to get you out of here. I'm going to get you back to those parents that I know love you and miss you right now." And Chuck, he can't really see the bars to Thomas's prison, but he lifts his arm up and gives him a thumbs up, and he says, "Okay, I hope you can keep that promise." And he walks off and leaves Thomas while he's in prison. Some vocabulary. Rickety. Rickety means unstable or fragile. There's a rickety chair that if you step on it, it might fall down. Or if you sit on it, it rocks back and forth. Chuck comes over and starts talking Thomas's ear off. Talking so much that your ear, runs away, falls off your head. Whatever. Your ear falls off because someone's just talking so much you can't listen anymore. But luckily, Chuck was, because Thomas wanted that. He was so bored. Lickety splickety. We often say lickety split, and that means really quick. But sometimes we'll say lickety splickety. I don't know where that comes from, but it just means incredibly fast. It might mean like when something is slick, then you can go whoop, whoop really fast off of it. So I don't know if that's where it came from or not, but we can say lickety split to mean quick. And we can say lickety splickety to just be a little bit kinder or more silly while we say that. Devoid. Devoid means without. So devoid of happiness. I think Chuck is saying devoid of humor. Without any humor, he says, "Do you think I have parents?" Right? Then Thomas kind of laughs, but there was no humor in Chuck's question or voice. Discussion question. If you were in the slammer, how would you pass the time? All day, let's say 12 hours, okay? You're going to be in a room with a rickety chair with no one to talk to and nothing to do. How would you pass the time? What would you do? Man, I've thought about this question a lot actually, and there are a few things I think I would do. And of course, please write your own discussion question. Even though this chapter was pretty short, there was a lot of deep things that we could talk about, think about, and ask about. Well, that's all the time that we have for today. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode of Book Club Preview. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Hey, if you have any questions about the video today, please feel free to leave a comment in the comment section. If you had any other vocabulary words that you wanted to know what they meant, let me know. And also, if you're interested in maybe joining one of these book clubs, please leave a comment and I'll get back to you. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.